Hey there. Well, today come out here and want to do a visitation to a graft that I had done last year. This tree was a root sucker from years ago from an elderly guy that I'd gotten it from his pawpaws, and he has since passed away, as I mentioned him before. Sunflower, 5/23/2020. I did a series of grafts in this tree, and which, by the way, the first time I had ever attempted grafting was last year, and it was done last year. I had a number of grafts that did take. I think I did 10 grafts into this tree. Uh, Out of the grafts that I did, I had one, two, three, four, five. So half of them took. I'm pretty sure I did 10 grafts into this tree. But grafts that didn't take, I went ahead and decided, all right, I'm going to graft again. And yes, it's a sunflower, and I decided to stay with the sunflower. Every scion in this tree was sunflower. That being said, this year I came in and I did 3 grafts on the side that didn't do so well, 2 grafts on this side. The third graft's on the back side here. There's 2 branches coming out here. This side did not do as good as the other side, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to regraft, see if I can't get something to happen. And right here's a graft I did, and right here's a graft I did. Both grafts that I did were inlay grafts because the scion wood was so much smaller than the stem that I was working on. I elected to do that because these were leader branches I felt that would feed the grafts, and they did. They fed the grafts very, very well. I think it's safe to say that those grafts are going to make it. Anyways, like right here at the top of the tree was a graft I didn't think was going to make it. I left it alone and it woke up and it is now growing. The graft is down here, and that was a cleft graft. And as you can see, you're getting some good growth in the top of that tree now. And which, by the way, this was the only graft on this side that took. And you can see it's growing very well. And over here was a cleft graft, and it ended up with a pretty big knuckle right there. But it lived and got a lot of growth out of it, and it's doing very well. And then I did a small inlay graft on the back side this year, and it's starting to wake up and come out. Right here was a graft I did. It was a tongue and whip, and it's calloused up pretty good. It took to the graft, and it's growing very well. As I got growth coming from down here way up to here, yeah, off that scion wood. And I'm looking at probably about 18 to 20 inches of growth off that scion wood. And then back here was another tongue and whip graft. And it too really took off. And this in here was a tongue and whip graft. These smaller areas up here, I just pointed out the tongue and whips. I didn't think they was going to live. They didn't look real good to me. I mean, they came out and then they just stopped growing. But and they never really grew out a lot of leaves. I elected to leave it alone to see what it would do. Like this one right here, it it came out and all of a sudden it just quit, like it stalled. And I just left it alone. And this year, those grafts ended up waking up and they took off. So I'm pleased with that. I was kind of concerned that the grafts were not successful, but apparently they were. But let's hope that these two right here continue to grow and put out growth to bring more evenness to this tree. Very pleased with this tree. By the way, this branch right here, when it came out, it had flower sets, had developed on it last year, and I guess the tree elected that it just wasn't ready. So that's a plus. I wasn't going to let it fruit out anyways this year because uh, too much stress on these grafts. Next year, we get some flower sets on that side of the tree. I may go ahead and allow it to fruit a couple pieces of fruit, but hopefully these right here continue to grow. It's just something that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to come out here and revisit this pawpaw sunflower. I got a flower set right there. Flower set right there. I see more flower sets for next year. So maybe we'll get a little bit of fruit. I may let a cluster live if it fruits out next year because I don't anticipate this tree to be ready to really fruit out for me, and I don't really want it to fruit out that soon. I want it to concentrate on growing. I want that tree to continue to grow, and I have to say I'm very pleased with what I'm looking at. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. Y'all have a God bless day.